Joey here as the Critical Missourian, where I talk about everyday life, about Missouri and beyond. And today I'm going to talk about the death of the Main Street, and of the mom and pop shops that used to be there. Um, I used to remember a long time ago that this is back in the 80s, that malls were a big thing, and people go there to do their shopping. And it was interesting. You got all, you'd have all the shopping centers in this one area, food court, and all the others, and sometimes a gaming hall if you're lucky. Used to be a big thing once upon a time. Also, there was I know Main Street used to be a big thing where you'd have all the mom and pop shops, all the restaurants, and all your clubs and everything that was all mainly on a Main Street at one time, and in the downtown area. That was a long time ago. Unfortunately, when Walmart came up with the idea of the mega shopping center for their stores, that's when things started to go downhill. It started with Walmart and just increased from there. It may have started with the supermarkets. I don't know. I don't know about that 100%, but I know with Walmart, when they came up with the Super Walmart, unfortunately, a lot of the Main Street mom and pop places just started going out as they couldn't compete. It's sad, but they had trouble competing with the lower price items. And usually these lower price items that you get in the store is usually lower quality. But unfortunately, then some of these mom and pop places and some of these malls still clinged on well into later times, but and then unfortunately, with the invention of Amazon and online shopping, that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. Sadly, since then, not only has, just even before Amazon, a lot of these places were in decline, was beginning to show the signs of urban decay in those areas. But like I said, after Amazon, it accelerated the problem. Now, you hear stories where what was usually a busy, family-friendly area become a crime-ridden, drug-infested wasteland, or something where it's become a complete blight on the city. Um, it's, I mean, it's really sad. And I was watching I was watching a video where the UK has an equivalent crisis going on what they would call the High Street, which is equivalent to the America's Main Street. So they have also suffered from the same kind of decline and decay as we have with our main streets, and it's really I'm just feel like a piece of American culture died with that. I mean, you can try to go for a revival, but you're not going to capture the spirit of what was there before it disappeared. I'm afraid with those days time dead and gone. I mean, you can always try to recapture that moment in time, but like I said, if you want to create like a 1950s diner that's a replica of what it is, you can do that. But like I said, you can capture the theme, the feel, but you're not going to capture the spirit and soul that was there. And that time in American history has came and gone. And I hope America kind of wakes up with this thing and start trying to do more for our main streets. And you could try to do a sense of revival and renewal. But for as long as everyone is supporting the mega stores, the biggest problem is these these big box stores. They've all undercut American businesses, or American small business, correction. And they've just made it impossible to compete in this market. And it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. I mean, I understand it's just how supply and demand is. Everyone's demanding low-priced goods. I know everybody's on a budget, but that always comes at the but like I said, that always comes at a cost somewhere. And like I said, our main streets are the ones who bear the brunt of the cost. And I think it's really sad that part of American culture had died. And I hope someday we may look into a revival or renewal of that kind of spirit. And maybe someday we'll work into buying more at mom and pop shops and giving support to small businesses. Maybe that would bring back some of what was lost. But like I said, it's going to take a very big shift in thinking. So, like I said, I hope everyone sits and thinks about this. I mean, like I said, that's part of my kind of depressive theme here with this. It's really, like I said, it's kind of a depressing theme, but that's just the fact that it is. We're facing the areas that used to be the most pristine, high traffic area, that were the most go-to places, has now become the derelict wasteland of yesteryear. And I hope, like I said, I hope to see you in the next video. And like I said, take time to think about it. And I'll see you then.